Lassiter Factor.
What's up, all my movie-loving maniacs? This is your boy Bankful B of The Lassiter Factor, and today I'm going to talk about Him, which was released in theaters over the weekend. I went to the theater to see it, so let's review. So, Him is, I guess you can call it a psychological thriller about Cam Cade, who is a young football player that gets to go to this mentorship under his football idol, Isaiah White. While he is there, he learns that it takes a lot more to be one of the greatest, and that there's something else afoot here, and that his idol is not who he seems to be. Now, here's the thing. I remember at the very beginning of 2024, one of my closest friends asked me about this movie that Jordan Peele was making, and I told him I knew he had a movie that was scheduled to come out during the tail end of 2024, which didn't happen, but the details had yet to be revealed. And then he said it was something football related, to which, okay, I'm interested in that. And then I come to find out that it's not made by Jordan Peele. It is directed by Justin Tibbing. Jordan Peele is only credited as a producer on this film, but regardless, the trailer eventually came out, and I was initially sold because one, football, and two, it's a psychological thriller, and three, Jordan Peele's producing it. And of course, the talent in front of the camera also has me interested. Now, how did I feel about this movie? Let me just say, first and foremost, Marlon Wayans, he was definitely cooking in this film. To me, I always love it whenever he takes on a non-comedic role because it really shows that he really has an affinity for dramatic or tense performances. And here, this just might be one of, if not his best performances right here. He definitely seems like someone that loves the game and did whatever it takes to be one of the GOATs. And he is just unhinged, crazy, but also has some good intentions. And Tyreek Withers, who I have started to notice over the past couple of years. The earliest thing I saw him in was on that one episode of Atlanta that had Kevin Samuels in it. And it was one of my favorite episodes. And then I saw him again in just last summer's I Know What You Did Last Summer, the new movie, and he was one of the brighter spots within that film. And now here he is again in this movie, and I felt he did excellent here. He definitely seemed like a young up-and-coming football player that has been training his whole life and wanting to meet one of his idols, and then he comes to realize that it's going to take more to be one of the greatest. If for anything, this will truly be his breakout role right here. And side note, is it just me or does he kind of look like a light-skinned Channing Tatum? I don't know, at least to me he sounds like it. Now, as for the movie itself, honestly, I do not know what to make of this movie. Now, don't get me wrong, I get what the movie was trying to do, and I was rolling with it up until the last 20 minutes when it got all weird. I just felt the movie kind of got lost in itself and its metaphors and didn't make any sense when it's all said and done. I do think it's a stylistically good looking movie, I'll give it that, and Justin Tibbing, he definitely excelled in that department, and I do appreciate that this movie had something to say about what athletes go through and what they put themselves through and what they're willing to sacrifice in order to achieve greatness, but I just felt like this movie just got lost in itself. I did enjoy the music in this movie. I mean, I did take a peek at the soundtrack after seeing this movie, and there were a couple of songs that I did notice that I've heard before. As for Jordan Peele and his inclusion in this film, again, he's just the producer. And don't get me wrong, I recognize, and respect him for giving backing to up and coming filmmakers, like he did last year with Monkey Man, and now here he is doing it again with him. But I do think Jordan Peele needs to have a word with Universal's marketing department because they just been slapping his name all over the marketing for this film, and that's just going to mislead people into thinking that he was involved in this film in terms of the writing and directing, which in itself comes with expectations that I don't think this movie here really met. In the end, if you really want to see this movie and come to your own conclusions about it, go right on ahead. But if you value your wallet, I think you just might have a better time watching this movie at home. If anything, watch this movie for the performances alone, because I do think particularly Marlon Wayans' performances and to a certain extent Tyreek Withers, their performances alone are what gets this movie by. I'm going to give him a very mid-shoulder shrug emoji. That's it for the day. Have you seen him? If so, let me know what you think in the comments section below. This is your boy Bankful B of The Lassiter Factor. Stay safe, wash your hands, Peace.